Greetings and salutations. Woo, what's it been, 2 months or so? Yeah, that was a random hiatus, but whoa, look at all you new people. Welcome aboard. For starters, I'd like to announce that I'm currently part of 3 campaigns now. As such, I'd like to include a few stories from my other adventures outside of the Goblin Mines. But don't worry, I'll be continuing those adventures soon. In the meantime, I'd like to tell you about my new D&D group. This one is based on Magic the Gathering and has been dubbed Adventures in Alara, or Aluxia, which is the continent this all takes place in. Our adventure started out with some backstory. In Aluxia, there are 5 territories: Nakal, Jorkan, Tiban, Experia, and Draxus. In the center of these territories is a powerful wellspring of magic. Naturally, all 5 territories are fighting over it. One day, a Hydra appears from the forest and kills everyone. In fear, the armies make a temporary truce to fight the beast, and get killed again. Realizing they're no match, the 5 territories each choose their strongest warrior to fight the Hydra in one massive glorious battle. At the end of this battle, the heroes manage to chase the Hydra into the wellspring where it falls in and disintegrates. They realize at this point that the wellspring is dangerous, so they seal it away and build a city over it. This city then becomes a neutral zone for all 5 territories and is aptly named Hydra's Fall. 300 years later, our adventure begins. Unusual things are happening, such as minor magical wellsprings erupting from the earth, then disappearing just as quickly. We open on a catfolk and a rhinofolk named Germain and Dormac. Germain is deaf, so in order to communicate, he has wooden tabs all over his body to work like flashcards whenever he has to speak with anyone who doesn't know sign language. Which means, wherever he goes, he sounds like... He also can't speak, so Dormac does the talking for them and helps translate for Germain. One day, they're both summoned to the Heroes Guild. There, they are introduced to the Aetherius family. First, we have Belladonna, a creepy little girl with a giant white bunny following her everywhere. Beside her are her grandmother, Donna, and her mother, Annabelle, who appears to be a doll carried by a giant faceless man who resembles that butler from Cats Don't Dance. They tell Germain and Dormac to guard Belladonna on their adventures for a while so she has a chance to see the outside world, then ask that before they leave, they meet back in town for a departing word from her grandfather, who's currently busy. So they wander around for a bit. After wandering, they head to the inn and meet the other players. One is a short-statured Tauren with a temper just as short as he is. The bartender talks the group into speaking with him first, and they get to hear his grumpy little rant. I hate you. I hate this table. I hate people. I hate the world. The last one is a Dampier with kleptomania, so if he stays in the same place for too long, he has to make a will save or else try and steal something from that room. Now, while all the meet and greets were happening, Belladonna was actually upstairs in her room, so Dormac goes up to check on her. When he knocks on the door, it opens by itself. Slightly creeped out, he looks inside for her, but because her stealth is so high, he doesn't immediately see that she's just standing by the desk. When he does spot her, he asks if she wants some food. Her mouth moves, but even though she's across the room from him, he hears a voice whisper directly into his ear. No, thank you. Unsettled, he backs out and leaves. They stay at the inn for the night, and Germain tries to sleep with the giant bunny because it's so soft, only for it to poof away as soon as Belladonna falls asleep. In the morning, she does her summoning ceremony and shakes the top hat, where the giant rabbit falls out. They wander the town for a bit, and meet up with Belladonna's grandfather, Tassador, who is very strict but clearly has a soft spot for his granddaughter. He orders the group to visit Tiban and find Mayor Kristoff to see if he can figure out why the goblins are migrating out of Jorkan. On their way out, they're offered a carriage, but learn that the grumpy Tauren cannot get within 30 feet of animals without frightening them. So he has to run all the way to the gate at the edge of the city while we ride in the coach. As we're heading out, we encounter 5 goblins on the road. Dormac orders Belladonna to stay behind, and as the party engages in battle, Belladonna's rabbit goes savage and dashes across the field. It viciously tears into 2 goblins, one-shotting each of them. At the end of the battle, Belladonna watches the others loot the bodies as her rabbit proceeds to eat the goblins behind her.